They also talked about the marriage is biblical marriage. But what they mean by that is the idea of the American nuclear family, which you will not find in any of the 66 books of the Protestant canon or any of the however many books are in the Catholic and Orthodox canons. You won't find it in there because it's a modern construct.
That's right.
But what you will find in the biblical canon about marriage, Levirate marriage, where if you're married and you die, your brother's supposed to marry your widow so that the family line can be continued.
And have sex with her. So you have a child with her. Now, can you imagine, would anybody put up with that today? Like, oh yeah, my brother died. God. So I'm already married. I got like 4 kids of my own, but yeah, I got to go. She's going to come live with us and I'm going to go knock her up and have a baby with be like, what is wrong with you? What? Why would you do that? It sounds so insane.
And that's why the story of Tamar is so important in the Bible, because she used her sexuality to take Judah to task for not living up to that Levirate marriage vow.
Right. Yes, he wasn't doing
What's also in Scripture is that Abraham married his half-sister. Yep. So when he was still Abram and she was Sarai, they had different moms, but the same dad, or different dads and the same mom. I can't remember which one it was, but they were half-sister. And he mentions that twice. It's mentioned twice.
Well, that was his excuse. That's the reason why he gave her away to other men, right? When he would get in trouble with these, he'd go into these other countries, and the ruler of another country he'd get in trouble with them, and then the ruler would be like, "Hey, she's kind of cute. Is that your wife? Oh no, she's just my sister.
Just my sister."
And he handed her off. Like, dude, this is
do what you will with her.
This is the patriarch of the faith. Like, damn, man.
So
that's a little over the top.
We got Levirate marriage. We got incestual marriage. That's in the Bible. We got Solomon having 300 wives and 700 concubines. Woo, that's a polyamorous dream right there.
He was probably really tired.
I was going to say, you're going to get super tired eventually. So, and I mentioned this last night on John's show. I asked a rabbi one time or multiple rabbis about whether or not David and Jonathan's relationship was a sexual one.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the rabbis said, yes, David was probably what we would call bisexual today, but David and Jonathan were likely married, because in the story, there's a gift, a vow, and a blessing. And this particular rabbi, his name was Mike Harvey, said that would have been seen as a marriage ceremony. Israelites who read that would have recognized that as a wedding. It also talks about how they gave their souls to each other, that your love to me was more than that of a woman.
Yes.
They went out away from other people to hide, to kiss each other.
Yes.
And I don't think it was just the kiss of greeting, because you don't need to hide from people to do that.
No, because everybody
right. It sounded like they were out in the freaking wilds making out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So
exactly right.
Does every biblical scholar believe that, and every rabbi? No. But the text certainly supports that reading.
Yes, it
and
does.
Another rabbi agreed with that particular rabbi when I was positing that question on Twitter. So biblical marriage looks a lot different than the focus on the family nonsense that these Southern Baptists are pushing.
Yeah, that's right. I'll give a plug to my friend Dr. Jennifer Bird has done excellent work in this, and she has a book called Biblical Marriage. What do the scriptures say? So I recommend anybody interested in that. She's incredible. When I debated Dr. quote unquote Dr. James White on this question of what is biblical marriage, she was excellent. I mean, she helped me so much, kind of preparing me and gave me excellent, things. A lot of the stuff you just said, but like she pointed out, like, biblical marriage in the Bible has always been, it's always a contract between two men.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about love. It's not about romance ever. In fact, in the whole Bible, you never have any ecstatic, romantic expressions of love between a husband and a wife. Yes, you got some of it in Song of Solomon, but they're not married.
They're not married. They're just horny.
Yeah. You never get those kind of expressions of love and devotion, right? This kind of deep soul love, this sort of like you complete me kind of language. You never get it between, a husband and a wife. You only see it twice, and it's between two same-sex people. The one is you just mentioned, it's David and Jonathan, and the other one is in the book of Ruth, right?
Yeah.
Where I will go, your God will be my God, your people will be my people. Where you go, I will go. To the point where straight white Christians, when they get married in America today, will quote that scripture from Ruth, right?
Right.
To one another as heterosexual couples, but they don't even realize what they're doing is they're quoting same, not that I think they had a relationship or anything, but that kind of, it was more like friendship, right? The kind of deep love that people express in the Old Testament is not between married couples. It's between, men or women who have an intense either friendship, or maybe it's more than that, like with David and Jonathan. But I mean, that's telling, right? Because these marriages were not, they didn't enter into marriage because I'm in love with you. It's more like, hey, the man has to, this is how he gains prominence and wealth.
Right.
He needs children, he needs flocks, he needs, property and all this stuff. And it's more of a business arrangement than anything.
So the Southern Baptists are pushing this. We've got to overturn Obergefell. Now, Obergefell is the one that allowed for gay marriage in all 50 states. I would not be surprised to see them come for, what was it, Loving versus West Virginia or Virginia, the one that allowed interracial marriage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, the Southern Baptists are coming for things like they did for abortion. And here's the ironic thing. On their website, it says, on the Southern Baptist website that I looked at today, in the year of our Lord 2025, Baptists cherish and defend religious liberty and deny the right of any secular or religious authority to impose a confession of faith upon a church body or body of churches. If you're trying to force everybody to live according to your Baptist faith and message, you do not cherish religious liberty.